You weren't born to wait. You weren't built to beg. You were made to dominate. Every breath you take is a reminder that you're still in the fight, that you're still standing in the middle of the arena while others ran from the heat. You don't whisper dreams, you roar intentions. You don't knock on the door, you break it down. You don't ask for permission, you take what's yours by force. Because nothing in this world is given. Everything of value is locked behind resistance, guarded by doubt, surrounded by fear, and the only way in is with fire in your eyes and a storm in your heart. You take it with bruised knuckles and a clenched jaw. You take it with focus so sharp it cuts through obstacles like steel. You take it because waiting is weakness, and weakness is death. The throne is not awarded, it is seized. There is no crown for the passive, no victory for the cautious. Only the relentless win, only the obsessed endure, only the ones who show up in pain, who push through the darkness, who run toward the battle when everyone else retreats, rise to the top. You either conquer the moment or the moment conquers you. This is war daily, war with yourself, with your comfort, with your distractions, with every voice in your head whispering, slow down. You don't slow down, you accelerate, you don't retreat, you reload. Because greatness is not an accident, power is not a gift, legacy is not inherited. It's built with broken sleep, missed parties, early mornings, late nights, and a hunger so deep it swallows failure whole. While the rest look for balance, you look for blood. You sharpen your mind like a blade, you hammer your body like iron, you program your soul to be unshakable. Because when you walk into the fire, you don't flinch, you smile. You understand that suffering isn't punishment, it's preparation. You know that pressure isn't pain, it's proof you're close. You welcome the resistance, because resistance means you're moving forward. You don't wait for the perfect time. You don't pray for the stars to align. You align them yourself. You don't ask the world to notice you. You make the world feel you. You impose your will on every second, every breath, every opportunity. You don't live politely, you move like a beast. And beasts don't wait for openings, they tear them open. Every setback is a setup. Every failure is a forge. Every no is just another gate to break through. You build your future like a fortress stone by stone, strike by strike, day by day, with rage in your heart and purpose in your eyes. You don't hope success will come. You make success inevitable. And when the world tells you to slow down, you sprint. When it tells you to quit, you roar back with results. When it tries to block your path, you bulldoze it. Because you don't take what's offered, you take what's yours, by force. And you don't stop when it's tough. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when it's done, when the crown is in your hand, when the mountain is beneath your feet, when the fire you lit has turned into an empire. Until then, there is no pause, no break, no peace, only war, and you are the weapon. They told you to be patient. They told you to wait your turn, but you don't wait. You don't do lines, you break ranks, you skip protocols, you disrupt every room you walk into. You don't blend in, you don't behave, and you sure as hell don't beg. You command, you advance, you act. While others dream, you dominate. While they talk, you take. And when they finally see you rise, it's already too late, because you've been grinding in the dark, stacking victories, planning your next move like a predator circling the perimeter. Every decision is tactical. Every move is war. You're not showing up to participate, you're showing up to conquer. This is not a game. This is not a hobby. This is war. Your name is your flag, your work is your sword, and your discipline is your shield. You don't fold under pressure, you form under it. You don't fear the storm, you become it. You don't care about being liked, you care about being legendary. You weren't put here to please crowds. You were put here to break records, and every day you hesitate, someone else gets stronger. Every day you wait, the enemy sharpens their blade. That's why you move now. That's why you train while others sleep, study while others relax, build while others watch. Because you're not just trying to win, you're making sure they never catch up. You don't rise once, you rise every day, again and again and again, because consistency crushes talent. Relentlessness erases luck. Effort murders doubt. And obsession leaves no room for failure. You don't take breaks, you take trophies. You don't wait for motivation, you move with mission. When the fire fades, you spark it again. When the body hurts, you keep swinging. When the soul's exhausted, you dig deeper. Because force doesn't negotiate, it doesn't stall, it doesn't shrink, it expands. You are the storm that never stops, the force that never weakens. You don't aim to fit in, you aim to rise so far above they forget your origin. You don't rise for revenge, you rise because you were always meant to lead, always meant to build, always meant to own the battlefield, not just walk through it. You forge your destiny in sweat. You fuel your progress with pain. You build your empire brick by brick, not with comfort, but with calculated violence. You run your business like a war campaign. You plan your schedule like an airstrike. You train your body like a machine built for chaos. And you treat your mind like a weapon that must never rust. You don't tolerate weakness, you eliminate it. You don't accept excuses, you destroy them. You don't lean on support, you become your own foundation. And every time life tries to knock you down, you don't stumble, you surge. Because taking what's yours by force means you don't wait for approval, applause, or alignment. You move anyway, you win anyway. You show up like thunder, break the silence, and leave nothing behind but scorched earth and shattered limits. That's the path, that's the truth, that's the price. Take what's yours, by force, and never look back. They won't see you coming, because while they were performing for attention, you were preparing in silence. While they chased likes, you built legacy. While they chased followers, you built systems. While they watched the clock, you dominated every hour. This is why they'll never catch you, because you stopped thinking like them long ago. You stopped moving like the herd. You stopped caring about fitting in and started focusing on standing above. Because fitting in doesn't get you the throne. Conformity doesn't build empires. Safety doesn't spark revolutions. You were never built for comfort. You were never meant to coast. You were made for impact. You were forged in pressure. Every scar, every failure, every betrayal, it wasn't the end. It was the upgrade. You learned from it. You sharpened from it. You weaponized it. Now every hit you took becomes the force that drives your next blow. Every doubt they threw at you becomes your ammunition. Every time they said you can't, you stacked it like bricks and built a fortress of unstoppable certainty. And from that fortress, you launch attack after attack, move after move, deal after deal. Because you're not here to be liked, you're here to be remembered. You're not here to fit in, you're here to lead. You're not here to compete, you're here to dominate. That's the difference. That's the separation. That's why you win. You don't need the weather to be perfect, the mood to be right, or the timing to be ideal. You move regardless. You move with force. Because force doesn't wait. Force doesn't adjust to circumstances, it rewrites them. Force breaks through markets, destroys doubt, explodes ceilings. That's how you rise. That's how you scale. That's how you win. Not with permission, not with pity, not with politics, with pressure, with intensity, with total, relentless force. You walk into rooms with presence so heavy it chokes insecurity. You speak with clarity so cold it silences nonsense. You perform with such precision that effort becomes irrelevant. You only deliver results because talk is noise, plans are fluff, execution is the blade. And you wield that blade like a general at war, never shaky, never soft, never unsure. You lead yourself, you build yourself, you bet on yourself when no one else will. And when the dust settles, when the smoke clears, it's your name that echoes in the silence. Not because you were the loudest, but because you were the last one standing. And the last one standing owns everything. Own the field, own the moment, own the outcome. Take what's yours by force and never give it back. Every empire you admire was taken by force. Not with smiles, not with subtlety, with strategy and savage action. They didn't inherit the throne, they stormed it. That's the code you live by now. No more waiting for signs, no more hoping for doors to open. You are the door, you are the storm, you are the authority, and you move like it. You plan like a warlord, think like a CEO, and strike like a machine. Every part of your life becomes a campaign. Your finances, your body, your mind, your network, each one, a battlefield that requires discipline, sacrifice, and violent commitment. You don't drift anymore. You don't coast anymore. You wake up with fire in your lungs and your feet already moving because you know hesitation kills, doubt kills, wishing kills. You either execute or you evaporate. That's the rule. That's the law. And you didn't come here to play. You came here to conquer. You came here to take territory in every dimension of your life and plant your flag in soil nobody thought you could reach. You don't explain your hunger. You demonstrate it. You don't share your vision. You manifest it. And when people ask how you did it, you don't give them secrets. You give them silence. Because lions don't explain their hunt. They just eat. And you've spent too many years starving. Too many years watching from the sidelines. That ends now. You don't clap for other people's wins. You turn your own life into a highlight reel. You don't watch success anymore. You stalk it. You corner it. You tear it apart. That's what force looks like. That's what war-ready energy feels like. No backpedaling. No second guessing. Just full speed forward until your reflection terrifies the man you used to be. This is your evolution. This is your vengeance. This is your redemption. For every time you hesitated, for every time you played small, for every time you let fear run your life, you collect those moments now and burn them like fuel. Because what's coming requires everything. Your full power, your full presence, your full pressure. No more holding back. No more being available for average. No more sharing space with people who settle. You are the movement now. You are the force. And what you want is already yours. Go take it. You've come too far to stop now. You've bled for this. You've sacrificed for this. You've suffered, endured, rebuilt, and fought through every setback designed to break the weak. And you are not weak. You are the rare breed, the outlier, the one who chose pain over peace, the one who chose discipline over distraction, the one who chose to take what's his no matter the cost. And now the war is almost over, not because there are no more battles, but because you've become unstoppable in the face of any fight. You've evolved into something few even understand. You no longer chase power, you embody it. You no longer seek validation, you radiate authority. You no longer hope for opportunities, you create them, own them, and expand them. You are no longer part of the crowd. You are the one they follow, the one they study, the one they fear. And you did it not by chance, not by favor, not by luck, but by force, by rising every time you were knocked down, by choosing purpose over pleasure, by choosing legacy over luxury. And now you look back, not to mourn, but to remember the hunger that started it all, the hunger that made you rise before dawn and keep swinging long after others quit. And here you are standing on the empire you built, brick by brick, hit by hit, win by brutal win. But this isn't the end. This is the ascension. This is the next chapter. This is where kings become legends. This is where force becomes legacy. So now you lead. Now you build bigger. Now you lift others, teach others, forge others in the same fire that made you. You mentor not with sympathy, but with standards. You pass down not comfort, but clarity. Because you know true power isn't in what you keep, it's in what you give. And the greatest gift you give is the path, the proof, the blueprint, that no matter where they start, no matter who they are, they can rise, they can conquer, they can take what's theirs if they're willing to do what you did. If they're willing to go beyond talent, beyond motivation, beyond fear, and move through life like a force. So you end this chapter not with applause, but with silence. Not with a party, but with peace. Because the mission is far from over. There's always another level, another fight, another frontier to take. And when the next challenge comes, and it will, you won't wait. You won't wish. You won't retreat. You'll smile. will. You'll step forward, and once again, without fear, without hesitation, without apology, you'll take what's yours by force, and you'll keep it forever.